Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and welcome to Game 2 of this best of 3. It's from the Zotac Cup. Let's get straight to it and introduce these two players. Down in the bottom left position, the green Protoss player, Zasa. And his opponent in the top right of Cloud Kingdom, the blue Zerg from Team Liquid, TLO. So this now means that Game 2... the smart ones among you will know that Game 1 has already been played. If you haven't watched it, I'm about to reveal who won, so pause this video and go and watch it. It was of course TLO, with a pretty funky game, and I'm gonna be honest, Zasa took a lot of damage very early on. It was a quick game, and that was because he put a pylon up here, went for a forge wall off. It was all very peculiar, I must say. And TLO was like, Herbed up, you went for a Nexus after a forge, and you've got nothing to defend with. I'm gonna make 6 Zerglings and kill you. And TLO killed him indeed, quite easily with 6 Zerglings, managing to knock out 10 probes with just those 6 Zerglings. A cannon delaying the gateway massively by knocking out a pylon, and it was just a train wreck. Literally, train off the rails, nothing you could do about it. Zasa had lost by that point. It was merely a matter of time. TLO followed it up with 2 base muta, and just... TLO, I think, felt a bit bad. I would feel a bit bad in that situation. It's like, I won that really well. This game, though, things are looking slightly more standard. We've got a pylon as part of the wall, just behind the natural, so he can ward off quite nicely here. Sees the timing of the spawning pool. Nothing too crazy there, though. It was a 14 pool, actually, so quite early. 14, 15 pool, not much difference. Just TLO clearly wanting to make sure that he's safe in case, of course, Zasa was planning on going for some kind of aggressive strategy. The forge first, coming down. Zasa clearly a little bit cautious, and I can't blame him. Game 1, losing a tremendous amount to those very early 6 Zerglings that destroyed everything that could have been fun. The probe doing another good job of blocking down the hatchery. Will we see the pylon block that we saw in Game 1? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. I don't think we will, because we nearly have 400 minerals, so probably just going to want to throw down the Nexus or another pylon. One or the other, either's good. A Nexus, another pylon, both work well, but of course getting down the cannon now, really wanting to be exceptionally safe here, and the overlord coming in is being like, okay, cannon's there, forge is down, nothing too bonkers yet, but this does mean the TLO needs to take his third at about 4 minutes 20 to stay economically viable, and that's fine, nothing to worry about, unless of course TLO wants to go for some of his cool builds. Maybe his 2 base swarm host Nidus play. Why not? He mainly does that against Terran though, but it would still be pretty funky to watch on any matchup, to be honest. And it's fun builds like that that are always enjoyable to cast. The Overlord taking a couple of shots from the cannon. Just wanted to confirm that, okay, yep, the Nexus is down. That's the important thing. The third hatch is on its way. We've got a probe coming through the top. Going to get spotted by this Zergling. And then, of course, the Zergling will go and kill it, which is unfortunate. But nice and early third hatchery there. TLO just going pretty standard now. The gateway on its way through as well here for Zasa. Zasa busy just probing up, because probing up is really what you want to do. Watch some day 9 dailies and being like probes and pylons, probes and pylons, probes and pylons, because that's how you win games, guys. Really, honestly, probes and pylons win you games, or drones and overlords, especially drones if you're Zerg. Ask TLO, he likes the D key, just like DD. DD, DD, DD. Interestingly enough, does anyone remember that show Dexter's Laboratory, the cartoon? It was on Cartoon Network when I was growing up. It was brilliant. And the annoying sister DD. Why did that come from? I don't know. That was one of those strange brain associations that came through though. And talking of cool cool cartoons from when I was a kid, Johnny Bravo. I caught an episode of that the other day. That was such a good show. That was absolutely sensational. But obviously I am just making a semi-bad attempt at trying to fill some dead time, because until this cyber core is finished, it's going to be really hard to work out what Zasa is planning on doing. It could be a Stargate, could be a Robo, could be just a bunch of gateways, could be Blink Stalkers. Mothership core isn't out yet though. That's usually a good tell of whether there's going to be some aggression. 15 probes in the main. Make another one. Put another probe here. Get 16. Saturate fully, Zasa. Zasa, your 1 probe off full saturation there. That bothers me massively. But yeah, ultimately, not much going on TLO's side. He's just going to drone. And drone and drone and drone. He's got his first 2 gas out. That's good for him, because that's a good time to be getting those first 2 gas. Around the 40-50 supply mark when you see it go down every single time. Good little timing for anyone watching. And he should be following up with a Roach War and Evolution Chamber at around the next minute. So 6:30 to 7:30 is a good time to get that done. The Robotics Facility is going to be the building of choice for Zasa, of course. Immortal Sentry All-In is still a very viable build against Zerg players, even in Heart of the Swarm. The Mothership Core has just made it better, because let's face it, if it doesn't go your way, mass recall and you're fine. And mass recalling to be fine is possibly the most enjoyable thing you could ever do. Now, TLO, this is a bit cool. He's getting down an evolution chamber and a baneling nest. When was the last time you saw a baneling nest in ZvP? Well, okay, you do see them sometimes, but it's a bit less common. Are we going to see a big baneling bust? Maybe. +1's coming down. Lots of zerglings. Speed on its way. This looks like TLO is going to try and end this game rather quick. There's a single lone sentry here being like, I'm going to kill an overlord, while it misses the overlord completely. Sentry, you had one job. Sentry, that's what you're looking for. That is the overlord you are looking for. Well done, you found it. Good work. Start attacking. You can do this. You've got a buddy coming as well. I don't think you are going to be able to do this, to be honest, unless TLO just hold commands it. But what TLO can do is get a lot of zerglings out. But they are about to be revealed as this zealot comes down. He's going to be like, this is a lot of zerglings. I was not expecting this one little bit. And of course, this means the third nexus that has just got thrown down is going to be forced to cancel. There's no way that's going to stay up. The zealot will now fall. Of course, that overlord did survive. Lucky overlord. The pylon's going down as well. The baneling nest is completely there on its way down. Big baneling bust inbound, maybe will we see. We've got 2 sentries, 1 immortal, their second immortal on its way out, but immortals don't fare too well against zerglings, and banelings are probably going to be coming down this pylon, looking like such a weak spot, and that's always good to see the sentries just being like, okay, he's killing rocks. Guess I'll just leave him to that, because while he's killing rocks, he's not killing me, and I'm happy with that. Zaza was supply blocked after losing that pylon, bringing this probe back down here. Where's this probe going? If he retakes that nexus, that is a bold move, but he's not. He's getting 5 additional gateways down, knows that he's got to hold off a little bit of pressure here. The 1-1 upgrades are on the way. Apparently a quick pause there for TLO while he takes his 4th hatchery. That's all fine. We've got 6 gases now, all up and running. This is good for the Zerg player. His lair just finished. Will he get an infestation pit down? Will he just get baneling speed? Infestation pit, it's going to be. So this could be some pretty funky stuff. The Zerglings have taken out the rocks. Now, they're not being too aggressive, so it's not a massive baneling bust or anything like that. But Zaza, he had his 3rd delayed so long. I feel bad for Zaza now. But with that being delayed, obviously, TLO, he's at 71 drones. He's making a lot more Zerglings, a huge number more Zerglings. The current speedlings out are just being like, you are not having a 3rd. Don't even think about it. It is not going to occur. The Immortals, the sentry's moving out. Oh dear, there's a lot of Zerglings on the field. This is going to be so careful. Did a sentry just die there? Really? Did it? I'm confused. I may have done. I was getting hyperactive about the fact that there's all of these Zerglings. There's also Overlords running around. Oh my goodness. Drop tech coming down. TLO, you beast. This is brilliant. I love some drop tech. It's always fun. The Nexus now getting started. The Zerglings, where are they coming? Okay, the Zerglings are coming in. They're being like, hey, Immortals and Sentries. And then be like, oh, okay, you're there. I guess there's not a gap in the wall off. But luckily, that Zealot getting warped in time there. And TLO not even going for it. But yeah, Overlord's sitting around. Overlord's sitting around. Drop tech. A quarter done. Baneling speed on its way down. Are we going to see Bane Rain? I haven't seen Bane Rain for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. It would make me really happy if TLO were to go for that. So I'm secretly hoping Zerglings coming in to try and force counsel of this 3rd Nexus once more. But the Sentries, the Immortals, the Stalkers coming back and just being like, no, I am going to have this base if it's the last thing I do. Of course, while this is all occurring, let's take a quick look at Zaza's vision. He knows that there's a main and that there's a natural. That is it. He does not know about these 2 bases. He does not know the lair's done, the infestation pit is down, the drop tech is coming down, that there's a huge flood of Zerglings until now. The Observer finally sees it and is like, okay, Banelings, oh dear, rolling Banelings. This is going to be painful. In comes some Speedlings. They managed to streak through that wall off the force field, not of the money. That means Zerglings are in your main, and Zerglings in your main mean probes are going to die. A couple of Zealots bravely getting warped in. All of a group of Zerglings going to come and force the council down here, but look at how many probes are dying. TLO just going with a mountainous push. A good force field there. Does have to stop all but 2 Zerglings coming through, but as we can see in the main base at the moment, just getting ransacked. 1-1 upgrades are done for these Zerglings. 1-1 is also done for the Protoss army though. We see the 3rd Nexus taking a considerable amount of fire. Will fall. That is not a good spot for Zaza, who's lost so many probes up in the main here. The Zerglings are still just going to absolute town on them. Many probes have died today. It is not a good day to be a worker. The Zealots are finally cleaning this up though. In total, 8 probes were killed, so it could have been worse. But unfortunately behind this, TLO is taking his 5th base, getting his hive up, and is also morphing 15 Banelings. He's loading them all up into the Overlords. I feel like Jaws music should be on, like, I should have a soundboard with Jaws music on just for this occasion, but in they come. They're moving forward, and yeah, they're stopping, because they're not quite sure where they want to go yet, but now on they come. A slow going down, a time warp stopping the Zerglings from making it over there with the force fields, but unfortunately the Warlock taking some damage. The Overlords still just threatening. Still just kind of moving along, and are we gonna? I really want to see this Bane Ring. Come on, Come on, TLO, here we go. Massive connections going down there. And of course, this is where Zasa's army just vaporizes to the green goo of Banelings. And now the Zerglings just ransacking up, coming into the main base. The Overlord's there as well. One Overlord with still 4 Banelings in, hasn't dropped them yet. Needs to before it gets sniped off. That'd be important on all the probes. Oh dear, these poor probes. It's a sad day to be a probe. Zasa, unfortunately, has lost this game. Now TLO just macroing up more. These Overlords are getting pushed back. The natural has been destroyed. 28 workers dead. 37 to 69. Banelings being dropped on a Colossus. It's kind of painful to watch this, isn't it? TLO, he's really dominating here. But what a good build it was. He went for Bane Rain, and Bane Rain is brilliant. The Colossus dies to the Zerglings, and that just now means that with the 2-2 upgrades, these Zerglings are running in. They're doing huge amounts of damage. They're loading up into these Overlords. Now, here they come back into the main base. They're going to go and drop down and be like, you got force fields? I got a cliff I can jump up. All the Zerglings coming out. Of course, the Ultralis Cavern behind this. Adrenal Glands, 3-3 upgrades coming down. And there's the GG. Well played with the exclamation mark. Zasa just like, you played that so well to TLO. Good manners. Always makes you a cool guy. Zasa, my respect goes out to you. Of course, if you enjoyed that game, if you enjoyed that series, a bit funky, TLO doing some unusual builds, then make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. I get new games up daily. I vary it up so they won't all be as one-sided as that. And I'll hope to see you all tomorrow if you had another new cast. I'm Madals. Bye for now.